Now, this is a motivational, intellectual conversation that we are going to have today. Well, I'm going to speak. Those who are watching maybe have some type of experience and understand what truth is. You know, the TRUE, the truth, right? The true truth of the matter, right? Now, I want people to understand this. There's a difference between, having fun and speaking the truth, knowing the truth. And there's a difference between altering the truth when you know the obvious truth, right? Regardless of the situation. You see, I told you God's religion, right, is a relationship. Now, imagine a relationship where there is what? There's just lies and manipulation and deception and confusion. What happens to that issue? What happens is then there is a wedge, a break line between. Communication is about truth. When the enemy, right, cannot attack you by themselves, they group up. And sometimes they group up throughout the entirety of where you are. So wherever you go, they have people, they're minions. Well, they call them up. Oh, yeah, this person is coming. Or they prepare in advance for you. So you have to ask yourself, why are they going through all this trouble to silence one person? Why would they do that? Because if that person was telling lies, why would they care if there were lies, right? If somebody's lying about you, yes, you're going to defend yourself. But perhaps then they would approach and say, these are lies. But they won't even approach because they know that the truth remains. You see, you cannot have salvation. Salvation cannot be yours. You can say, well, I'm not God, I'm not, but I know this for a fact. If you want salvation, right? This is 100%. Truth has to be your cup of tea. That means you have to have that. You will have to actually talk what you have done. All human beings make mistakes. Maybe when you're younger, you make a lot of mistakes. But when you grow older, you're supposed to become wise. But the worst is when you're at that level and just mistakes. Purpose mistakes. It's like you are intellectual and you are high level intelligence, but you ignore that. That is why Jesus had problem with the Pharisees, because they were so intellectual, they're so smart. But they used their intelligence for evil purposes, to deceive, to steal, and to destroy their own people. And because of this, many issues came out of it. Because think about it. If the reality is how you live your life is true, but the lie is what many people are using to run like Olympics around the track. They're going around the track, running around, thinking that they can run around, right? Because now they're in their head, let's create an environment that we can control by placing people that we get along with in order to make it, right, hard for the individual that is speaking his truth. I never once said force people to listen to what I am saying. It is your choice. But think about it in your life. Think about all the spiritual attacks. Think about all the visions that you have, or what visions that you're supposed to have, but you never get them. Why these blocks are taking place. Like I said, truth is the blueprint of your salvation. It is the blueprint of how you will get to heaven. Christ came, he talked, but he just made sure It was always truth that he talked to the people. And he let them know that if you know the truth, it is much different than if you don't know. And your judgment is different. What you don't know, you can't hold somebody accountable for something that they don't know. But you can hold somebody accountable for something they know, but they pretend that they don't know. Or you can hold somebody accountable for something that they say they know, but they don't really know because they themselves already admitted that they know, right? Purely. The world of spirituality is about truth. The world of physicality is supposed to mostly be about truth. However, we know that that is far from that. And because it's far from that, that changes the narrative of what needs to be done. You know, people actively try to prevent you from elevating, from growing, from being motivated for bringing change to a society that needs change because of the destructions of the land. What is going on? That destruction happens every single day here. And this is bloodshed on the land. How do you think God is going to do? What do you think he's going to do? Like I said, what I said is final. Whoever wants to challenge that, take it up with God. Because there's certain people that are sent to the land to cleanse the land. What they say goes because they have a heart for the land. And they know not just anyone will come forth to say it. You have to be prepared to what? To carry the truth, to die with the truth. You have to be prepared to do that in order for God to use you. Because guess what? He knows what message you carry because that message is his message and it becomes your will. So stop playing games and laughing. Stop playing tricks and thinking life is about tricks. Stop acting like because you have money and you have a car and you have a house, vanity is your success. If that's the only thing that you have, then you are not successful. I am telling you that today. Huh? When God is saying, who is my father? Who is my mother? Who is this? When Christ is saying that, who is my father? Who is my mother? Who's my brother? What is he saying? He's not talking about your physical family. So if your physical family does not know God, then you're in the wrong family. You understand? Don't think, yeah, well, I'm helpful and great and stuff like that. But do you have salvation? Because salvation, nobody can save you. Nobody can give you salvation. Only God can give you salvation. So at the end of the day, think about what you do. And think about what message is being what? Sent to you. Think about these things because it's going to affect you on time of judgment. Huh? Young children are passing away left, right, and center. You guys just watching the news. Huh? What's going on? And it's not just this neighborhood. It's around the whole country. And this country is supposed to be safe. Much more safer than other places. But it's supposed to be safer. You guys are making authorities' job difficult because of your manipulation and deception that you guys commence among yourselves. And that is why it's always a propelling problem, regardless of the measures that they put in place. Why is that? Perhaps some of the people are corrupted, but they are intellectual, and they are what? They have hid themselves within the scheme of things. And because they have hid themselves in the scheme of things, right? You don't see what's going on. But God have shown me the Achilles of these people. So therefore, they will be exposed. Mark my words. It's final, like I said. What I say, if you don't listen or if you think I'm lying, take a look and watch my videos. Whenever I say things, it comes. Why? Who am I saying it? Who am I saying it on the authority of? You may think, oh, well, his life is like this, his life is like that. When God wants to use you, it doesn't matter what you are doing. Noah wasn't drinking alcohol. Huh? Did he not build the ark? You guys need to use your common sense and stop playing games. That is why life becomes short for so many people. And I am telling you, if you don't change your life and you're with this scheme thinking, oh, it's cool and all, right? Destruction already have come to you. And you don't even know. I will continue to speak my truth. There is no alteration to what is the truth. If you don't like to hold the truth, God did not say if you come from this or if you come from that or if you come from this culture or if you come from that culture. He said, if you are truthful, then you are my family. Are you truthful? Huh? So many schemes, so many deceptions, so many lies. How come people are afraid to tell the truth? How come people are hiding what they have behind the scenes? Oh, yeah, I'm going to hide. Right? How come it's okay to try to silence somebody who's talking true? How come? And you think, what, I'm going to stop doing it? It's just the beginning. You understand? Like I said, what I say is final. Any spiritualist wants to do something about it, it will still come. And they already know. Because, guys, I'm not here to play games. Huh? I am not here to play games. Enough is enough. You know what I mean? You guys must think that, oh, mans are not hiding. I'm telling you the truth. God will continue to cleanse the land so that what? Revival will happen. It doesn't matter what you guys do. It's too late. You see, if God shows me, it means it's final for these lands. Do you know what kind of thing, what kind of bond me and God have? Do you know? Huh? You must think it's just recent, eh? Stop playing games and find salvation. The only way to find salvation, carry the truth with you. Stop acting like, oh, right? Talk truth. If you're gonna say something about somebody, say the whole story. Don't say the part that makes you look good. That is not truth. You understand? People play victim. Oh, I'm going to react on what you did, even though I know you're right. But I'm going to act on that and act like, oh, he's out of control, he's this, because he was able to understand my trick and my scheme, and he called me out for it. So now I have to be defensive by calling him out on his reaction for my lie. Huh? Nonsense. Right? The nonsense continues. So, guess what, guys? You want to go to heaven because everybody wants paradise. You want to go to heaven? You will still have to go through a path where you have to talk to God. So if there's a path that you don't have to talk to God to get to heaven, let me know about it, because it does not exist. You see what I mean? It doesn't exist. So I told you the path is truth. Okay? Those who don't know what's going on, the path is truth. Right? There is those withering roads, you go left, right, center, this, da, 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 but the path is the truth. And because the path is the truth, that's the path you have to follow. You are following it when you are honest. You are following it when you know what the truth is and you say the truth to the best of your ability. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you know and you don't say it, then it's different. But you just have to know what is wise. How to speak truth with wisdom. You just have to know that. Okay? Because sometimes, not all the time, you say the truth right away, but you wait in an altering time, because guess what? Sometimes the enemy can come hear your truth, hear the truth, And then because they heard your truth, they're going to take the truth and manipulate it and say, you said this, you said that. Because guess what? You confide in them. So there's many people like that. Right? Send a group harassment. Person reacts to it. Somebody else that you think is compassionate, that's on your side, is also against you. Right? So you have to be careful. But wisdom and the way you express your truth should always be your number one agenda. You understand? Evil is here, but it will not stay. I told you, these children have a future. They need to live. If you think you have more energy than kids, I'm sorry. Most likely not. If you think you have a future more than the kids, no, they are tomorrow. If they're not here today and all the lands are being destroyed and all these kids are falling into destruction and death and all kinds of problems and financial ruin and all these manipulation and stuff, then who is going to fund the future? And I told you, the balance of the race can never be consumed. So therefore, one person, right? One race can never dominate everything. It doesn't take place. You take turns. Rotation. That's how it works. One after the other, one race. Even if one has a grips for years, it doesn't matter. They're going to change. That's how it is. Why do you think that there is change of genetics, right? You mix with somebody else and then boom, a different genetics, a different intelligence, right? So best of both worlds. The best genetics you have, the best genetics the female have, and then they combine to make a whole new intellectual, intelligent human being that obviously has a better capacity, thinking capacity and strength and everything than you if they are taught properly. Because that's the alteration, that your offspring is supposed to become better than you. Right? As human beings, male and female. Think about it. You have kids, your kids are supposed to become better than you. Right? So just remember, we are human beings. We have a spirit within us that governs us, that takes care of us. Do you see what I mean? That's what helps us. That's what motivates us. Right? That's what drives us to the next level. A lot of people need to realize this. Because you see, we live in a world where spiritual is more important than physical. People look at the cliche, they look at the outer. Let's say they went to a dealership, they see a car. They have a car, the car look nice. If you don't use your intelligence and say, let me check the hood of the car, let me check the mileage, let me check the brake line, let me check all these things, inspect it to see that it's up to the standard that you are spending your money on. If you don't do that, then what happens? Then you buy the car, and if the car has a problem, then what happens? Now you have to start paying for something that you already paid for and you never really used, right? And that's what's taking place, right? There's a lot of illusions. But with wisdom, you will find the path. What is the wisdom? The truth. You will find the path. Talk truth. Because it's the only religion that God understands. You can say whatever, but anybody that is in any religion, if they taught truth, God loves them. But if they don't taught truth, then what? Then what was your purpose? Huh? What's the gain of the world when you have all this, but you don't have a life? You don't have a spiritual life. You don't have salvation. And like I said, you can't pay for it, right? You cannot buy it with money. You can only buy it with truth. Huh? Do you not see all these symbolization? Do you not see all these cultures? Who really likes when people are manipulative to them and deceiving them? Who really likes that? Nobody, right? But who likes truth? When you tell them, yes, I know, even if it goes against you sometimes, hey, at the end of the day, the people are going to respect you for what you say. Huh? If people have to go around to try to silence you because you have a light that you want to share, where people know that it's because it's truth. If it was lie, why would people want to hear that? Why would people want to share a lie? They would not want to share a lie. They would want to share the truth. And that's the bottom line. The only way massive change can come across is if you walk in the truth. It's like a GPS that never fails. Remember, sometimes GPS will tell you, oh, it's there, but not often, right? Because it will recalibrate, but sometimes it's not up to date, and then give you a destination. Maybe it's off by this, or it'll give you a whole different destination sometimes. But the truth GPS never gives you a false destination, and it never drives you to a false location. At times you may worry and say, well, you know, this is a path that is happening, and this is what I'm going to do. Right? This is a path that is taking place, right? So this is a path that's happening. This is what I'm going to do. But if you follow the truth, you'll be able to walk around. Do you see what I mean? What I have said about this land is going to take place, regardless of what God is going to do or need to do to make that happen. Mark my words. You understand? This is not a game where people play, oh, da-da-da-da, or think that, oh, it's a different thing. What is your purpose of living if you can't talk the truth? Huh? What's your purpose? What's your purpose of living if you gather together to create your own manipulative truth? That means you're saying that you are much smarter than God. That's what you're trying to say. Already I can tell if you or people are doing that, it shows you don't have salvation and that you are far from it, regardless of what your physical assets may have. So learn to live truth, learn to love the truth, learn to say the truth. Don't play games. Don't think, oh, I'm hurting this person's feelings, so I'm not going to say what God told me to say. I told you, I seen the Achilles of the evil ones. And if you don't believe me, don't worry. In the course of the week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you will see for yourself. You know, to a month or so, but you will see for yourself. I don't even have to tell you. You see it on the news. No? You see it all the time. Right? And you don't know what to do. But this guy does this. This guy does that. Who God chooses to use, you can't do nothing about it. You just have to deal with it. You understand? You may not like that person because, of course, you're not going to like that person. Because that person is the opposite of who you are. No? That person is the opposite of who you are. If that person is telling the truth and you don't like that person, then obviously you're not truthful, no? So you're the opposite. So ask yourself, who's your father? Huh? Truth or lie? Truth or lie? Who's your father? At the end of the day, that's life. Don't live your life and say, oh, I've been doing this, or you think what? You growing to be old means that God favors you. No. Sometimes God is showing that, you have a lot to learn. And he's giving you just a little time because you see, once you're gone, that's it. You're not going to get a second chance to come back to relive this and stuff like that. You're not. This is not the times for that. God already said, time is coming. All these changes, technology advance. Every time that happens so significantly, right? Every time the mechanics of power, right? Of technology becomes advanced so quickly, the use of it becomes very dangerous, and cleanse must come. And it happened throughout history. So we are at a time. All these things are happening around the world, no? Why is that happening around the world? You see what I mean? I know we want to keep this place safe, but we have to do our part. So thank you for listening. Stay motivated, and I hope you're having a great day. Bye now.